B Marsh Boxing back at it with another boxing video. This is what boxing fans like. This is exactly what they out for, you know what I mean? That's what they get up in the morning. That's what they get a hard on for. Division in boxing, you know what I mean? That's what they in this game for, you know what I mean? Been hearing a lot lately about this WBO PBC Al Heyman BS. You know what I mean? It's funny, man. It's funny how people out here picking sides, picking and choosing, or reaching, fishing, stretching. They reaching, they fishing for some kind of controversy to start a fake outrage. You know what I mean? Fake internet outrage. You know what I'm saying? Out here defending these weak, corrupt sanctioning bodies. Nobody give a fuck about the WBO. Nobody gives a fuck about the IBF, WBC, WBA. If you're a real boxing fan, you care about boxing, not these sanctioning bodies. People out here reaching, man. Talk about Al Heyman. Al Heyman and the PBC are not recognizing the WBO anymore. Been hearing this BS for about a week. Man, I look at boxing news every day. It's my duty. I have a channel. Gotta cover boxing, you know what I mean? I hear people out here talking about Al Heyman PBC not recognizing the WBO. I'm trying to tell you, man, I look at these boxing, I at least look at 7 or 8 publications daily. Only day I probably don't look at boxing news is on a Sunday after fights I watch on Saturday. All they're gonna do is recap what happened on Saturday night. So that's probably the only day I don't look at boxing news. And if I do look at what happened on Sunday, it'll probably be on Monday when I go back enough to go check the news. And I ain't seen not one story, not one publication talking about the WBO. I'm sorry, the PBC and Al Heyman don't recognize the WBO. I haven't seen not one. So I could just say that's people out here spreading propaganda. You know what I mean? Hit that thumbs up when you come in the room if you like the content. If you don't, do what you do, but hit that thumbs up. It's free. You know? People out here reaching, man. The WBC, I'm sorry, the WBO. How comes you guys never put it out there that the WBO and don't recognize the PBC? What's really good, man? You guys that thirsty to try to throw the PBC under the bus? I bet you your favorite boxing entity, boxing promotion, whether it's Al Heyman and Frank Warren, whether it's Eddie Hearn, whether it's Kathy Duva, whether it's Jim Boxing, Yvonne Michelle up in Canada. I bet you they ain't got it popping like the PBC. You know what I mean? You know, in life, really and truly, man. You know, when people hating on you, it means you're probably doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? Now, am I gonna sit here and say that I agree with everything that goes on with the PBC? No, I don't. But people cried for Errol Spence and Sean Porter. They said that PBC ain't even making these fights on their own side of the street. Guess what? We're gonna have it this fall, early fall, September. You know what I mean? You check it. Guess what, man? The PBC did us a favor by bringing Manny Pacquiao over there to the PBC. Man, hit that thumbs up when you come in the room. B Marsh Boxing. We live. Man, if you know B Marsh Boxing, man, I don't got a front for nobody, man. I don't pick no sides, none of that. I'm a fan of boxing first and foremost. If you ask me who my favorite fighters are, man, believe you me, those are the guys from yesteryear. So I got no agenda. I ain't no pipe pipe. I don't follow nobody's tune. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying anybody should follow me. I'm just giving you the real on what's really going on. People out here talking about that the PBC and the WBO, the PBC not recognizing the WBO and they blaming Al Heyman. I've yet to hear Al Heyman come out and say that we're not recognizing the PBC. The WBO. Please, man, if you got that interview, Send that, man. Send me them links. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Send me them links. I've only heard Al Heyman voice once, and that was in the locker room with Shane Mosley versus Floyd. He was there with Floyd. I think he was telling somebody, I think telling the cameraman, back up, back up. I heard him say it twice. Other than that, I never heard him talk about nothing about not recognizing the PBC. I haven't. People can harp on that 2014 incident with the man Peter Quillen all they want. Yeah, we in 2019. You can harp on that all you want from a defunct channel and a network in HBO. If that makes you feel more comfy and cozy inside, you know what I mean? But we just gonna keep it pushing over here, man. You know what I mean? The WBO, you guys are not entertaining the thought that the WBO are the ones who don't recognize the PBC. I mean, it's in their actions. You know what I'm saying? Go to the ranking system. Go check out the WBO's top 15 rated. Show me how many PBC fighters are up in there. I talked about this on my video yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And that's just going off the top. So what do you expect fighters to do when they're ranked in the WBA, IBF, and the WBC? What they supposed to pass on them opportunities to go fuck with the WBO who don't even have I mean, like a junior welterweight, junior middleweight division where the best fighters on the planet at 154 are on the PBC side. Whether you like it or not, that's the truth. You can come and try to tell me that Jaime Munguia is a player, but he ain't a player like the guys on the WBC. Excuse me, on the PBC side. Not one of them fighters, not one of them fighters, dogs, is ranked in the WBO rankings. Yet they try to say it's Al Heyman because they heard Al Heyman. They heard a statement from Al Heyman saying that they're not recognizing the PBC. I'm sorry, the WBO. See bots or what is it? Set shot in the chat was good. Set shot. Set shot saying as far as sanctioning bodies, I only care about their belts and two. I only care about their belts and two guys or gals fighting for those belts. Exactly. That's the only thing that should matter. But people out here defending the WBO for their corrupt tactics, corrupt organization tactics. Yeah, at 147, they got Danny Garcia in the ranking system for the WBO. I believe he's like number 3. Yeah, he's of Puerto Rican descent, isn't he? Where's the WBO based? In Puerto Rico. Oh, that's why the man Miguel Cotto left the game with the, or didn't. He got beat for his WBO belt, but really and truly, what entitled them to fight for that WBO belt anyways? Versus Kamagai? Ha, here you go, easy belt. Why? You're aligned with Bob Arum and you're Puerto Rican, so the WBO is rightfully yours. If you're black, man, you ain't getting no opportunities if you're with the PBC unless your name is Danny Garcia to fuck with the WBO. But that's not what people are trying to bring up, man, with their propaganda-based videos. Try to tell you, man, I look at boxing news 6 days a week. It's my duty. I have to cover boxing. And not once have I seen an article saying that the WBO, I'm sorry, Al Heyman and the PBC are not recognizing the WBO belt. Nope, not once. But you guys ain't gonna mention that. You guys are going off of your hatred for the PBC. 2019, man, fellas still sounding like PP out here, man, back in 2015. And all the critics who said that PBC is not sustainable. PBC ain't gonna last. Yeah, you sound like Cameron Duncan. That's what Cameron Duncan was saying. You know what I'm saying? Former manager of plenty of fighters. Where's he at now? Oh, yeah. PBC still keeping it moving, you know what I mean? Austin Trout, them fellas, Austin Trout sued the WBO. The WBO took him out the rankings. They completely took him off. They just booted him out of there, you know what I mean? Demetrius Andrade was the champion, the number 1 contender. His mandatory was Canelo Alvarez. Number 2 was Miguel Cotto. Number 3 was Michael Soro from France, who just won a kind of minor WBA title over there in France maybe 2 weekends ago on July 20th. Michael Soro from France. and was the third ranked. Number four ranked was Austin Trout, and number five ranked was a guy by the name of Liam Smith. Please tell me who's Liam Smith's promoter. Yeah, none other than Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotions in England. All his fighters fight for that WBO. Guess who the man Liam Smith had to fight for the WBO world title? David Thompson, a guy who had lost in the Boxino tournament to Willie Monroe Jr. How the fuck was that guy fighting for a world title even before Willie Monroe? And how was the man Liam Smith even in that position? If it wasn't for these corrupt organizations, Liam Smith would never realize his dreams of becoming a world champion. I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm just trying giving you the real. Man couldn't even beat Jaime Munguia. Good ass fight. 7-5. I had a 7-5 for Jaime Munguia. Very good fight. But even couldn't get past that rudimentary kid in Jaime Munguia, who holds that WBO 154-pound title. Growing up in boxing, man, when I was watching boxing since I was a little kid, man, the WBO wasn't even no recognized title. You know what I mean? You ain't even need that to become undisputed. When Bernard Hopkins fought De La Hoya to even be the first man to have 4 world titles simultaneously with that WBO when he beat De La Hoya for the WBO title. De La Hoya got off a robbery versus Felix Sturm. Yeah, guess what? Biop ain't need that belt to become undisputed. He was undisputed already. O'Neal Bell and G-Mac Mormack, they fought for 3 belts for undisputed. They ain't need that WBO. The WBO just came not. It's been this like, man, I can't even give you the exact date, but it's not older than 15 years since you needed it to become undisputed. And I'm not saying you don't need that today to become undisputed, you know what I mean? But, I think the people they trying to reach to try and say that the man Errol Spence is ducking Bud Crawford. The way I see it, man, they both ducking each other. Guess what? They not fighting each other. It takes two to tangle. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to jump out the window and say the man Errol Spence is ducking Terrence Crawford. Man, this man got a fucking unification coming up versus Sean Porter. What are you guys talking about, man? What, that man can't unify with Sean Porter, a guy who's managed by the same man, an advisor and the man, Al Heyman, and they both on the PBC network? That's a unification, easy fight to make, and it's about to happen. You know what I'm saying? Why you ain't tell Bud not to re-sign with Top Rank? You know what I mean? If he really wanted these fights, and I'm not saying that's the only way he should be able to get a fight, is if he signs with the PBC. It's boxing. I'll watch boxing on any channel. I told y'all before. C-SPAN, Nickelodeon, Cooking Network. Don't matter to me. MTV, wherever they put boxing on, I'm watching it. All right. Where we at in the chat? Red Eyes. What's happening, Red Eyes? He says, they must be talking about when they listed all the champs and left Crawford out. That wasn't cool. I ain't cry about it, though. Because those of us who do know boxing know that Bud Crawford is also a title holder. Then again, it's not PBC's job to promote the man, Bud Crawford, on their platform. And I'm not saying what PBC did is right, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to cry about it. Fellas got to get in the ring. You see me? I'm not one of them fake internet outrage dudes, man. You check it? That's not what I do, man. I don't even get upset about boxing. But when people are just trying to find any excuse to try to shit on PBC and Al Heyman, they talking about Al Heyman is not recognizing the WBO, and I've yet to see an article about this. I've yet to hear a statement from Al Heyman. I wonder what statement they heard. You know what I'm saying? Show some proof. Give me some quotes from the man. I read quotes when I do videos, when I read quotes of what somebody said. Quote, end quote. Give me some quotes from Al Heyman. If you can't do that, STFU. Red Eyes in the chat said, PBC saved boxing. No question about it. I mean, hey man, you could hate all you want. People could hate all they want on PBC, but I like watching boxing on Fox. I love that shit, man. And when they had it on PBC and when they had it, I'm sorry, NBC, and when they first started PBC, they'd even have afternoon fights on Saturday. I seen Sakio Bika versus Adonis Stevenson. These were afternoon bouts. What's his name? Errol Spence versus Leonard Bundu. Afternoon fights, like back in the day when I was a kid. NBC Wide World of Sports or ABC Wide World of Sports and NBC and CBS. Afternoon fights. Guess what, man? I like watching it on TV for free. I don't gotta go on no app, put in no password, and log in. And I don't have to subscribe to a premium channel to watch some of these fights that they put on PBC. You know what I mean? So anybody who's upset at the PBC, and the PBC was even giving them free boxing in England, that freaking Pacquiao fight, man, versus Keith Thurman was like £9.99, $15 tops US. I mean, what's there to complain about? I wish our pay-per-views were $15. That was a damn good pay-per-view too. You know what I mean? So I agree with you, Red Eyes. PBC did save boxing, man. PBC is, hey man, for the longest, man, I wanted boxing back on regular TV. And PBC is the only network out there that's been able to do that for 5 years strong now. Or was it 4? 4 years strong, since 2015. I remember the inaugural fight, Keith Thurman versus Robert the Ghost Guerrero. On the undercard was Adrian Berner versus John Molina. NBC. I like the fact that they do that to bring casuals in, you know what I mean? You check it, casuals watching fights on a Saturday night on Fox. No other network can do that except the PBC. And Al Heyman made it possible. That was his goal, and he realized and achieved his goal. Those of us who do appreciate boxing, I don't take that for granted, not one bit. This man gave y'all free boxing over there, ITV shit over there in England. That's good, man. You can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Can't be mad at that one bit. Setshot says the NABF was more prestigious than the WBO when I was a kid. I agree 100%. The NABF was there. I remember when Pernell Whitaker fought Roger Mayweather, man, for that WBO, I'm sorry, NABF title. You know what I mean? That was a good fight. A difficult test for Pernell Whitaker too at that time. This was before he had even fought Jose Ramirez in the first fight, in that robbery. Red Eye says, truth. Holyfield was undisputed with 3 belts. Yes, he was. So was Lennox Lewis. IBF, WBA, he got off of Holyfield, and he came with his WBC. He won vacant versus Oliver McCall. PNC King says PBC all day. For sure, man. Man, PBC has the best fighters on the planet. Just because Ring Magazine doesn't recognize them. And I'm not saying that every single talent is better than Bud Crawford, Lomachenko, and Naoya Inoue. I'm talking about as a collective, total, as a whole package. ESPN, they don't have that many good fighters, to be honest, top rank. That's why their cards sometimes be lame. Main events with Oscar Valdez, ducking everybody, fighting guys I never heard of. But that's a main event on what you call it, on ESPN Top Rank. Nah, that's not cutting it. You know what I mean? There've been some bad main events, very rare, like Charlo versus that, was it Adams, Brian Adams? You know what I'm saying? That's not a good title defense, but this is because this guy really doesn't have any champions to fight on the Showtime side, Showtime PBC side. I'm not gonna cry a river for him. He's really not even that important to me, to be honest. Those people out here who trying to front like They're so outraged that Jamel Charlo was handed a belt and this guy has nobody to fight them. And they don't give a fuck about that because Canoli has plenty of guys to fight over there on the freaking DAZN app. And he ain't fighting them. I give him props for Jacobs. I give him props for the Triple G. But there are also other guys over there too. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't rate the man Charlo like that, I don't. What, I'm gonna cry about it? Come on, man. Fake outrage, man. That reaching shit, man. That shit gotta stop. That shit gotta stop, man. Grown man gotta stop, man. You know what I'm saying? Life is more beautiful than worrying about Jamal Charlo's opponents. Man, he made his bet. He gonna have to lay in it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There ain't nobody to fight for him over there. Oh well. Oh well. If he leaves the sport of boxing today, I ain't gonna cry a river for Jamal Charlo. But I do want to see Canoli fight guys on his side of the street because there's more options and better fights to be made on the DAZN app and middleweight for guys like Andrade, Charlo, etc. You know what I mean? PNC says, what they talking about? Well, they saying, man, that Al Heyman and the PBC are not recognizing the WBO. That's what they saying, PNC. And PNC, man, I'm trying to tell you, man. I'm trying to tell you, dogs. I ain't seen not one article that has come out and said that. You know what I mean? So that's just propaganda. People out here reaching, especially saying that Al Heyman. I'd like for them to show how you gonna quote a guy that you ain't never heard speak. You know what I'm saying? How could you even hate on a guy that you don't know nothing about? That's usually what happens in real life. Somebody who hates you, the person who hates on you is somebody who doesn't know you. They hate to see you come out the crib fresh, dipped every day. You know what I'm saying? Your jacket shining. They hate to see that. They don't know you personally, but they say, damn, man, Slim out here, man. He got him riding in a nice whip. Always dipped. Probably got a bad shorty with him. Slim don't know you, but he's hating. That's how it goes when it comes to hating. People be hating on people they don't know, never even heard speak, never even spoke with them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just told you about Austin Trout. Austin Trout had to sue the WBO because they kicked him out the rankings. They kicked him out the rankings, but they're not bringing that up. Now, is it that corrupt or what? Is that the PBC's fault? And now we could go back to Peter Quillen if you want to reach that far, because what's that guy's name? Austin Trout situation wasn't that long ago. It was like around he sued him when he fought Jared Hurd, around that same time. He still got a world title opportunity, courtesy of PBC. But the WBO kicked him out the rankings and made David Thompson versus Liam Smith for the vacant WBO world title. That guy, David Thompson, not no and Liam Smith should not be fighting. If anything, it should have been. I don't know what Canelo and Cotto were doing at the time. Maybe Cotto had a WBC belt. I don't remember what he had at the time, but definitely Austin Trout should have gotten that opportunity to fight for that WBO vacant title before Liam Smith and David Thompson. So he has a right to sue, and I believe also he's also suing Frank Warren and the Queensberry Promotions in that lawsuit, which is still ongoing because he got his fighter moved up in the rankings, Liam Smith, to fight for that world title. But they want to blame PBC. That ain't no PBC thing. That's the WBO corrupt organization thing. They should be hit with the RICO, if anything. You know what I'm saying? They should. The man Floyd Mayweather won that WBO title versus Manny Pacquiao. Had 3 belts. Put his WBA and WBC on the line, took Manny Pacquiao's WBO. He ain't paid a sanctioning body fees, 200,000. They usually give you like 10 days, the WBO, to declare what you're gonna do with that title. You know what I mean? Okay? They gave Mayweather an exemption because he's Floyd. The WBO don't let nobody hold titles in 2 different weight classes. At that time, Floyd Mayweather had the WBC and the WBA world titles at 147 and 154. 4 belts altogether, and he was lineal in both weight classes, okay? WBO is not going to recognize Floyd if he wants to keep those junior middleweight titles. You know what I mean? They gave him 30 days to make his decision. In the meantime, in between time, even before them 30 days was up, they made they made Timothy Bradley versus Jesse Vargas for the WBO welterweight title, while Floyd Mayweather is still the champion. That's not fair. That's corrupt. How you gonna name Jesse Vargas versus Timothy Bradley as a WBO welterweight title when Floyd is the champion? You've given him 30 days to decide what he was gonna do with that belt and also pay up 200K, $200,000 in sanctioning body fees. But the WBO made Timothy Bradley versus Vargas for the WBO welterweight title. Isn't that corrupt? Y'all ain't bringing that up though. Why they trying to do dirty shit with PBC fighters? You ever think of that? Y'all ain't bring. You see, fellas ain't playing fair, man. And that's that nut ass shit. You might as well just shut the fuck up and not even make no videos. Don't be making these videos out here that ain't making sense. Floyd put the pressure on the WBO. He got his litigation and lawyers involved. Yeah, WBO panicked. They made that title fight between, I'm sorry, not title fight. They made Jesse Vargas versus Timothy Bradley for the vacant interim title when Floyd put the pressure on him. It was originally supposed to be for the vacant WBO welterweight title, but Floyd is already has that title. He just beat Pacquiao for it. You know what I'm saying? But yet, it's Al Heyman, who a guy you've never even heard speak, and the PBC, they're the ones who are not recognizing the WBO. We could go to the rankings right now. I got time today, baby. I got time today. I clocked already today. Made some guap. Now I got time. That's when I got time for boxing, when I handle my business and my responsibilities. First of the month is tomorrow. The WBO champion at heavyweight is Andy Ruiz. Number one contender is Alexander Usyk. 2, Tyson Fury. 3, Dillian White. 4, Anthony Joshua. 5, Oscar Rivas. And we can go on. And there's not one PBC heavyweight ranked in the WBO. Adam Kawanaki, PBC fighter, he's ranked number 4 in the IBF. Well done, IBF. WBA, do they have any PBC fighters ranked in there? Adam Kawanaki, he's the only one. He's ranked number 12. And the WBC, any PBC fighters, Luis Ortiz is number 4. Adam Kawanaki's number 6. And Dominic Brazil is number 13. There's no other PBC fighters ranked, and there's none at all ranked in the WBO. I'm just going to look at we just going to focus on the WBO. At cruiserweight, only cruiserweights I know from the PBC side are guys like Tabiti, who just got knocked out by the KO doctor Junior Dorticos. Steve Cunningham, I don't even know if he still fights. Well, there's nobody ranked in the cruiserweight WBO rankings, top 15. Top 15 WBO 175 light heavyweight. We have Gilberto Ramirez, a top-ranked guy, of course. He's number 2. Anthony Yard, WBO guy. Frank Warren, Queensberry Promotion guys. These are the sanctioned, the promotional outfits that hold WBO belts. They're ranked number 1 and 2 respectfully. Do I see any other light heavyweight on the PBC side? Absolutely none. Jesse Hart's ranked number 5, top rank. Okay, you see where we going with this, right? WBO, Billy Joe Saunders is the champion at 168. Willie Monroe Jr., he's a free agent. He's not a PBC guy. He's ranked number 8 at the 168-pound division in the top 5 rankings. So he doesn't count. He can fight anywhere. That's exactly why he's in the WBO rankings. Because believe you me, we're seeing a trend right here. I've given you nothing but facts. I don't have to lie about nothing. I don't have to reach to do a video. I just gotta spit them the facts. You know what I mean? Give you real spit. Okay, and WBO middleweight, Demetrius Andrade's the champ. There's no PBC fighter, not one, ranked in the 154 pound. I'm sorry, 160 division. Not one. Atlantis Fox, guy from Maryland. He's um he's even ranked number 4. Jeff Horn's ranked number 5, but there's no PBC uh, uh, middleweight. 154. Kell Brook is ranked number 1 after the champion Jaime Munguia. Kell Brook, a guy who ain't done shit, diddly squat. He ain't done a goddamn thing since he lost to Kell Brook. I'm not got nothing against him. I'm just being real. Hasn't done nothing. His career's in limbo. Bob Arum just said today, not today, the other day, that Kell Brook is nothing. Like he's nothing. He's not even a name no more. There's nobody ranked at 154. Not one. Could you believe that? And I just told you the best junior middleweights in the planet reside on the PBC. Kell Brook 1, Patrick Teixeira 2, Dennis Hogan. Who the fuck are these guys? I know them, yes, but who are they? Welterweight. Kavalauskas is the mandatory to Terrence Crawford, the champion. Jesse Vargas is number 2. Jesse Vargas is ranked number 2 at the welterweight, but he's about to fight for the WBO junior middleweight title versus Jaime Munguia in September. Okay? He's not on the PBC. I don't even know if he's still managed by Al Heyman. I don't. Those facts I do not know. I do know he did come to PBC and fought the man Adrian Broner to a draw. Then he left because he was getting paid well by the zone. Props to him. But there's nobody in the 147 division from the PBC except Danny Garcia. We could go on and on and on about this. There's a trend. The WBO are the ones who are not, I repeat, they're not recognizing the PBC fighters. What do you expect these PBC fighters to do? There's 3 other sanctioning bodies that have them in their rankings. They're not going to cry over no WBO belt. If I'm a boxer, and I'm sure every boxer out there, and I know you need all 4 belts to be undisputed in today's boxing, no doubt about it. I applaud every man who can achieve that. Enough respect to you. Terrence Crawford, Alexander Usyk first got to do it in like 12 years. It's a very difficult feat to accomplish. But if I'm a fighter, I could care less about the WBO because I'm trying to get them IBF, WBCs, WBAs. Then I get me that WBO. You know what I mean? Triple G ain't even never go for that WBO. Never fought for that joint that Billy Joe Saunders held. I'm sure he would have fought for it if Billy Joe Saunders wasn't stalling and ducking. But at the end of the day, it wasn't that important to him like he claimed, like he wanted undisputed. I just said, I understand. And I'm all for it. I agree 100%. I'm all about fighters becoming undisputed, unifying all belts. 4 belts today. And I'm not giving Terrence Errol Spence a pass. I'm not. Nobody is. He's in a unification in September. Focus on that. Stop reaching. You check it. When the man accomplishes what he has to, and the PBC are ready to unify with the WB with Terrence Crawford on Top Rank, or Top Rank Bob Arum's willing to let him come over to PBC just like he did. Jose Ramirez came over to the zone. I said it on my post-fight video. That's the only way Bob Arum's gonna let his fighters go on the other side of the street, is if he knows they're gonna come up out of there with them belts. He's not putting them out there if he don't believe in them. You know what I'm saying? Bud's not doing no numbers pay-per-view wise. He gets good numbers, very good numbers when he's on regular ESPN. Does better numbers than even Lomachenko, and that's a fact. But Bob Arum sometimes hides him on the ESPN Plus app and whack-ass pay-per-views with Amir Khan. That ain't cutting it, man. That's not going to get him that exposure he needs. Just leave him on ESPN. That's where he's getting the most exposure. He'll probably be the most popular fighter on ESPN if you just left him there. Not everybody got ESPN, the app. Not everybody is down with these apps. It's just the truth. I'm a boxing fan. I'll get with it if I have to, but a person who doesn't care, doesn't have to see every fight. If they got to see Bud Crawford, got to go and file with their credit card, and they'll be like, you know what? It's all good. Tell me about it when it's over. But us, as hardcore boxing fans, we gonna watch it regardless where it's at. Somehow, some way. The WBO been good doing guys like Austin Trout, Floyd Mayweather, dirty. Peter Quillen, we could talk about that. Yeah, PBC. I remember used to be. I'm not even. They weren't even PBC at the time. Showed all them Al Heyman fighters used to fight on HBO. I guess HBO felt Al Heyman's getting too big for his britches, too powerful. They didn't want him on the network no more. They tried to say, oh, stuff like guys are getting easy touches, easy fights, and stuff like that. It is what it is. They ain't want the man Al Heyman on their network no more. Okay? Al Heyman went to Showtime. Peter Quillen was the last PBC fighter to hold the WBO belt. He beat Hassan and Khan for that title. All right? Them fellas defended his titles numerous times. I think Matt Korobov was his mandatory. Jay-Z got involved with the purse bid, and they won the purse bid, and they had to have the fight over there on the PBC. Excuse me, on HBO. These people weren't trying to deal with the man Al Heyman, but they want to deal with the man Peter Quillen. How's that going to work? The man is his representative. Al Heyman is Peter Quillen's representative. You know what I mean? You check it, fellas act like the man Peter Quillen just gave up his belt because he's stuck in the man Matt Korobov. That was not the case. HBO weren't trying to play fair with the man Al Heyman. They actually said they want nothing to do with them, don't want to deal with them. But it's just that Rock Nation, Jigga, and them won the purse bid against um, Al Heyman, and I'm sure Al Heyman could have matched it. But they told the man, you know what, fuck that belt. I'm not even gonna put up no money and no purse bid, nothing. Jigga could put up all the money he wants. All he gonna do is put it right back in his pocket because Peter Quillen vacated the belt. At the time, I didn't agree with it. I'm not saying I agree with it now. But when you're putting these guys under pressure, you know, putting restrictions on them, basically like how they told Deontay Wilder to sign a four fight deal with the zone in order to get the Anthony Joshua fight. That's not fair. Just let the man fight him one time. If he beats him, he beats him. If he loses, he loses. He goes back to his network, just like Jose Ramirez did. You know what I mean? These fights could be made, but people need to stop that reach and talking about Al Heyman. Al Heyman did this, man. You never even heard Al Heyman speak. I told you, if you want to hear him speak, go watch Floyd Mayweather versus Shane Mosley. He's in the locker room with Floyd, and he's telling the cameraman, back up, back up. Where we at in the chat? Setshot says, I really miss the afternoon fights. I like watching the UK fight cards these days. Yeah, the UK fight cards, they cool. It's cool. I mean, to have some boxing on in the afternoon. You know what I mean? But you can't compare those cards with American fight cards. Come on. I mean, even the level of fighters, you can't compare them. It's day and night. You know what I'm saying? I watch it, sure. Almost every UK fight that happens in the afternoon, I'm on it, especially for the main event, like the last one we watched with Derek Oscar Rivas and Dillian White. On the undercard, David Price versus David Allen and Chisora versus Spilka. Those were three good heavyweight fights to lead in, to into the main event. You know what I mean? So I give them props for that one. You check it. You know what I'm saying? But overall, yeah, the afternoon fights were. That's what I remember watching boxing on as a little kid. Brooklyn Child Boxing, what the deal, man? He says, what's good, fam? What's happening, dogs? PNC King says, just rumors for now. Brooklyn Child Boxer says, I'm going to do a video on this subject. I just watched Del Boy video. True indeed. PNC King says, no official statement. I ain't never seen no official, nothing. I'm not even seen an article. So I wonder where people are getting this from. But they're not, they're failing to realize that the WBO are the ones who don't recognize PBC fighters. You know, they've been talking about PBC trying to make their own belt like a WWE belt or UFC belt. They were saying that since day one, since PBC's inception. It's 2019, four and a half years later. I've yet to see them make their own belt. So where you guys get this information from? Talk boxing. Stop speculating. Stop digging. This ain't a treasure hunt. You know what I mean? Brooklyn Child Boxing says people are going to use this to attack PBC, but people won't attack WBO for not ranking no PBC fighters. Some of these boxing fans are funny style, son. Funny style, man. They're comical, man. These motherfuckers is comical. You hit it right on the nail. You know, to be honest, this is a 41-minute video. All I had to read was what you just said right there, Brooklyn Child Boxing, which took like 4 seconds, maybe less, and ended the video right there because that's the whole point of this shit. That's the whole point. You know what I mean? And I've given examples how they did Austin Trout. I hope Austin Trout sued the shit out of him, which he is in litigation right now. Hope he get that guap, you know what I mean? Liam Smith and David Thompson and boxing fans let that shit slide. But now they talking about what Al Heyman has said and done, but they've never heard a statement from this guy. Hating on somebody you never even heard speak, never even seen. Who does that? Book and Child Boxer says, "Yo, you're not monetized. I would send to some super chats. Nah, man, I ain't even monetized, man. YouTube be on some nut ass shit, man. When I be doing my old school videos, you know, you know, controversial decisions, fights we didn't get to see, anything old school, and I put a little image, they be trying getting ready to strike me or so. You know, if I ain't monetizing, man, leave me the fuck alone. See, I don't gotta you know, I might put it up for the super chat. You know what I'm saying? But I don't gotta rely on no YouTube bread. You know what I mean? I was getting paper before YouTube existed. Real talk. You check it. Okay. Sexshot says U6 number one without ever fighting a heavyweight. But that's the WBO for you, man. Yeah. That's the WBO for you. And that's a matchroom fighter. You know what I mean? He's a matchroom guy. So Eddie Hearn and them, if when Andy Ruiz beats the man AJ in the rematch, they won't be in line to get them titles. And that's a bad matchup for Andy Ruiz. I ain't never seen the man Usyk fight at heavyweight. I don't know if he can take a punch from a heavyweight, but the man is a very graceful boxer. You know what I mean? Southpaw, man. Man is a dangerous fighter. You know what I'm saying? I really rate the guy high. Been watching him since the Olympics. So I'm not surprised at where he's at. I always figured he's gonna be a cruiserweight and become a heavyweight, especially when he was fast tracked into world titles when he was like 10-0. But of course, that's the WBO. Why should he be ranked ahead of any other heavyweights? What he done at heavyweight, and I like the guy. It's one of my favorite fighters to watch, to be honest. You know what I mean? What has he done? How is he ranked ahead of Tyson Fury? You serious? Tyson Fury's held that belt before. He beat Vlad for it. PNC King says we suffer from a lack of knowledge. Yeah, and it's a kind of and a hate impulse too. A hate impulse that make fellas just say some nut ass shit out their mouth. You know what I mean? Without really looking at both sides of the spectrum and really paying attention to the corrupts. When are we? So this is what we've come down to: defending corrupt sanctioning bodies. And the WBO's the worst, man, because they ranking system got a lot of shitty fighters, fellas we ain't never heard of. Plenty of great fighters on the PBC. Why none of them even ranked except Danny Garcia? Danny Garcia, that's it. It's ridiculous, man. Set Shot says off topic, but last time Usyk was in the crowd for Ruiz Joshua, he was so big I didn't recognize him. Yeah, yeah, he did look like he packed on some pounds. You know what I mean? But he's gonna have to because he's now heavyweight. Yeah, he was there. He was there with Lomachenko. They was there in London for that fight. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Might have to conclude this video, man. Said shots. I'm sorry, Brooklyn Boxing Child said it best. What I've been saying the whole time. People are going to use this to attack PBC, but people won't attack WBO for not ranking no PBC fighters. Some of these boxing fans are funny style, son. They're comical, delusional, and they're sad. But this ain't no fake outrage. For me, I just gave you the facts. They shit is fake outrage, fake internet outrage. Yeah, like I ain't see Lomachenko versus Gary Russell for the WBO vacant title. Hmm? And this was after Lomachenko came off a freaking loss. Came off a loss to the man Orlando Salido. But he gets put in there to fight for a world title in his next fight versus Gary Russell. Props to him. Good fight. Very disappointed from how Gary Russell fought that fight. You know, Gary Russell from my area, man. Shout out to Capitol Heights, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Northeast, the whole District of Columbia, you know what I mean? PG County everywhere, Mo County, everybody out here. We rep for Gary Russell, you know what I mean? I seen Gary Russell at the Javed Hurd fight versus J. Rock Williams. He's a small dude. He's like 5'4". He's a small guy. Dressed in all black, always. Black Timbos, black Scully, black long sleeve, black fatigues. That's Gary Russell, man. Gary Russell deserved to fight for that vacant WBO title. He was undefeated at the time. You know what I'm saying? But they not going to flame up the WBO for their corrupt organization tactics. They're going to blame Al Heyman and the PBC. Yeah. Put them PBC fighters in them rankings. We'll see how many Matchroom and Queensberry promotions and top-ranked fighters ever touch them belts. Real spit. Just telling you, man. Remember when England had like 15 world champions? There was almost all of them was the weakest link in their division. When they stepped up, and I had said this before, when they step up and fight the real dude in the division, that title will be gone. Lee Selby had a title out there. This man was getting beat by Fernando Montiels and the Eric Hunters of the world. It was only a matter of time, you know what I mean? Not even against them fighters, you know. But, you know, it's crazy how it's mostly the UK channels who be hating on PBC. I wonder why. They still trying to carry on this UK-US bullshit divide. Look at that PBC title, man. Look at that. I'm sorry, WBO title. What that says. Dignity, democracy, honesty. Bullshit, man. They not about none of that. They're not about no dignity. Because if they had dignity, they would rank every boxer accordingly, worldwide, on your own merits of who you beat in a legit ranking system. Democracy, yeah, if you're Puerto Rican, that's your democracy. WBO belt. Go ahead. Fetch. It's all yours. You ain't got to fight nobody. Don't be surprised to see Juanma Lopez. Juanma Lopez going to be fighting for a world title, WBO title sooner than later. Don't be shocked. Honesty. We ain't got to even speak nothing about honesty. They're not honest at all. I gave you the example of how they did Floyd Mayweather. They named somebody else. They named Jesse Vargas versus Timothy Bradley as a WBO 147 welterweight world title fight for the vacant title, while Floyd was the champion. Floyd starts pressuring to sue him, gets his lawyers involved. WBO now name it an interim title fight. Come on, man. What part of honesty is that? You know what I'm saying? Red Eye says, say word. That's Loma's best win. Yeah, I believe so. That's his best W. And Gary Russell dropped him in that fight. Yeah, he dropped him. That the referees ain't counted. They said it was a slip. They robbed Gary Russell of that knockdown. I had Lomachenko winning fair and square. I was very disappointed. I believe that fight was even on my birthday, June 21st, 2014. I remember we was deep watching that fight. We about to see our champion from Capitol Heights become a world champion. Womp womp. I ain't gonna lie, we was disappointed. It was a sad night up in that motherfucker. But it is what it is. The best man won. You know what I mean? Yes, indeed, man. B Marsh Boxing about to seal the deal on this video. In conclusion, please stop reaching out there. You know what I'm saying? Get that hate out your blood. Stop hating on the PBC. I don't preferably like Top Rank and the fights they put on and some of the matches they have. I don't necessarily like all of them. But I don't come on my YouTube channel and be hating on Bob Arum and the ESPN. I don't necessarily like everything that happens out there in England, whether it's Queensberry Promotions. But I will admit, ever since Frank Warren is not them Box Nation cards, when he got this BT Sports deal, his cards have improved. You know what I mean? And for the record, I got Anthony Yard knocking out Kovalev. He gonna beat him in Russia. The only way he gonna come up out of there with a dub is if he knock him out, and he gonna get it done. I've always thought that. You know what I mean? If he loses, he loses. So what? Won't be the first time, won't be the last time I get a prediction wrong. Of course, I'm gonna do a video. You know what I mean? But y'all gonna get it done. You check it. Yeah, man. Stop reaching, man. Stop reaching on with this Al Heyman stuff, man. You know what I mean? Please, it's not a good look. You know what I mean? Find something better else to do. Maybe make videos about something else. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, fellas out here reaching, man. They reaching out here talking about Al Heyman every day. Like I said, I don't even like every single card and all the fights or the competition or even some of the mismatches or not over there happening on whether it's Eddie Hearn or DAZN or even Golden Boys, man. Golden Boy been putting on some whack cards for years. I don't even make one video chastising Golden Boy. Neither do the the usual suspects who in 2019 are sounding like PP and Sean Newton and all the PBC detractors in 2015. Now the tables, it's flipped. You know what I'm saying? The tables have turned and they flipped the script. You know what I'm saying? They sound just like them in a lot of ways, man. Dillian White tests positive. Oh, he had small traces in amount in his system. He's okay. He ain't cheat. That's the same thing they said for Povetkin. Same people who was chastising and crucifying Povetkin are now defending Dillian White. They sound just like the usual suspects who was defending Povetkin in 2015, or was it 2016 when Wilder was supposed to fight him in March? Yeah, Wilder was gonna go to Russia. Had no choice. But they're not gonna give that man credit for that. They'll actually say Wilder ducked that fight with Povetkin. B Marsh, leave your thoughts and comments. If you got some articles showing me Al Heyman saying that they trying to disregard and not recognize the WBO, feel free to drop them in my comment section. All right, B Marsh Boxing. Shout outs to Red Eyes, Set Shot, PNC King, Brooklyn Child Boxing. Big ups to everybody who came through in the chat, and I'm gone. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.